Hey, good evening.
Are y'all ready for this session?
All
Woo!
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Boy, I tell you, this is gonna be hopping and popping today. We're gonna be talking today, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be talking about control, the hidden problem that a lot of us have to deal with on a daily basis. So,
Yes,
always start with Marcella.
I know.
Control. What does that mean to you when you hear someone's trying to control something? What does that mean?
Control to me means that that person is on a power trip, and control to me means that you can't even deal with your own life. So therefore, if you're going to try to control someone else, so control to me is always trying to be in charge of everything, every decision, every thought process. That's control to me.
Eric?
Put it simply, too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
That's that army one there. I don't know. I can relate to that one. Tisha was
My turn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna piggyback off of Marcella. You really don't understand the power until you understand the power of being in control of yourself. So to me, people who I saw that little quote earlier, people who are controlling normally have no control or sense of control over their own emotions or their one self. So therefore they try to control other people to make them feel powerful when they don't realize they're powerless, because until you can control your emotions, you definitely can't advise someone else how to control theirs.
Yeah.
me
Right on.
controlling. When I look at it and when I see people who act like that, they're failures in life. So since they fail in life, they feel as though they have to control everybody else just to make up for their failures. There's a sense of power that they don't have over themselves, or they can't control what's going on in their life. So they go to the extreme to control other people. They'll do extreme type stuff. They'll go way and beyond. They will, like, I know y'all see it all the time where someone will go to the extreme just to control a situation. Some of the things that we see now, we see some police officers will go to the extreme to control a situation that they really don't have control over. That's happening a lot more than normal. People in authority type positions, where technically your position, you already have power, but because you can't control the situation, you go to the extreme with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And also too with control, I realize when people can't control you, then now they try to attack your character, your integrity, all that type of things, and they get other people to try to, feel some type of way about you because they can't control you. And like you said, control is it's a bad thing, because control also can cause people to try to harm you and hurt you, and even kill you. You know what I'm saying? And when they feel like they have the control, everything is okay with them to a certain extent. But when they feel like they lost control, and that's when they become enraged sometimes. You know what I'm saying? They try to come enraged. It's like they go out here and they be angry because it's like they then lost control and stuff like that. But control is really a bad thing. It really is. It's a bad thing.
And I think that's one of the biggest things now is you'll see, and we see it all the time on social media, where you, you can't control the situation, so you call the police officer and you play the victim.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Yeah.
just one way to manipulate a situation where you already lost. So since you already lost the battle, you're
Yeah.
now going to play the victim. And that's where, when people can't get their way, they'll use other ways of doing it. So they'll use their control. Like in some cases, some people will use, some people will use their looks to try to get over.
Yeah.
Like I said, if they think that, like, they've been told all their life that they're cute or beautiful or whatever, they'll try to use that to manipulate the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Control is one of those things that when you have people that seek control over situations that they don't have control over, they already are losing.
You
They're
already
already
lost.
lost in so many different ways.
And
If,
you, okay.
in order to lose control, you have to be in control. So that means that when I say be in control, you have to be in control of your emotion of yourself.
Right.
Like Tisha said before, and if you don't have that, you can't be in control of something. You've already lost control because you never had it in the first place. And I've seen it so many times. You can walk up to them and you can say, "Hey, that's a bad idea. You might want to try something else." Well, it's my thing. This is my goat. You don't tell me how to pull the horns. I'm gonna do it like this. And then you already, man, it's gonna go bad. I got this. Okay. Then it goes bad. They go to victim. Nobody talked. Nobody came up and talked to me. And then that's when I step in and say, "You're a bold-faced liar." It was me. And then when we went to do the things, there was other people that walked up to you. You did not want to listen. So now you got to pay the piper, and you want to play victim. You make yourself look even sillier by trying to deflect. It doesn't work like that. If you are in control of yourself, then you know you need help. Then you need to reach out to Tish. You need to reach out to Mar. You need to reach out to Marcella and say, "Hey, I got this, whatever, and I need help, man. I done got to this point. What's up?" See, people in control don't ask for help. They just want it to go from bad to worse.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
They look for.
It's because too, I realized some years ago someone had told me, and I just looked this up. Control is a fear-based behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So even when I remember I used to have controlling ways about certain things, wanting things a certain way. And when I understood that, it says the desire for control may be rooted in the fear of uncertainty. Sometimes it can be related to a mental health condition. Being in control of your life sounds like a positive thing, and in most cases, it can be. But for some people, the need to control everything can become all consuming.
Mm-hmm.
And so my issue is immediately when I feel the need to control, I automatically check the root of it. Okay, why do I feel like I need to control this? And then I start in my mind rationalizing. And what I've learned to do is force myself to communicate better with if it's a person involved, whether it's my child, a friend, or whatever. Let me communicate what my concerns are versus trying to control the situation. Because what I realized was me trying to take over it a lot of times is because I think I can do it better. But who's to say that I can? Why don't, if it's other people involved, communicate and do it better together, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense? And
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that taking that approach has um, created less tension and chaos with people. The one thing that I'm working on is knowing who you can be completely honest and transparent with. Just because someone calls you and asks you for your opinion doesn't mean they really want it. And so what I'm learning is I either don't need to take these people's calls, they don't need to be active in my life. But if you can't respect someone's honesty and then you try to control another person's honesty, that's what I'm having a lot of conflict with lately. People want you to be honest until you have to be honest with them.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Long as you
Yeah.
honest with everybody else, they're fine. But when you have to be honest with them, then you become the problem. That's control
Oh
because
wow.
you're trying to control my response. If I call any of you all on the phone, and I talk to Marcella and Eric quite often, I don't ever try to tell a story to control their response. I tell it as, hey, tell me if I was the victim in this or the villain in the situation too. I noticed that a lot of people try to control the narrative
Mhm.
and try to control changing your perception of a person. No, I'm going to tell you the story and then let the chips fall as they may.
Yeah.
Um, One thing Marcella and I had a real transparent conversation about a few months ago, and it had never came to me this way, was when people give you advice, it doesn't mean you have to take it.
Absolutely.
But why do we feel the need to argue when we don't agree with the advice? That's a form of control too that causes a lot of problems in relationships.
And and Tisha, you remember you said back in the days that you was that type of person, but now
Mhm.
I see so much growth in you because you're right. We feel like I didn't have someone tell me before, well, why did you ask me then if you're not going to take my advice? So that means that not only does that mean that you're trying to control the situation, but you're trying to run my life. You're trying to make decisions for me. I'm just come. Sometimes we talk to each other because we need to vent, or maybe we need just your perspective, or maybe we need to put it in a different way and say, okay, well, Mario, you know what? Yeah, I can do it like that. You see what I'm saying? Not about controlling that situation, because if someone come to you and they want your honest opinion about whatever it is that they talking to you about, they just trying
That's
to,
all it is.
yeah, it's just that's all it is. And like
That's
I said,
all
it
it
is.
is.
And control sometimes can be fear based as well, because the person that's trying to do the controlling, sometimes they do that to try to hold on to something or thinking that they're going to lose something. So they
Right.
feel like if I lock this control in, then it's gonna be you're gonna continue to walk the path of how I want you to walk the path. That's not no
Well,
that
that's why I said in here the desire to control may be rooted in the fear of the uncertainty.
Right.
yeah.
So they're uncertain about how you're going to perceive them. Just because I tell you something and it doesn't seem like it's favorable to you doesn't mean that I have a negative opinion about you.
Yeah.
All of us handle things in moments inappropriately. I'll be the first to raise my hand and say I've done plenty of things and went back and said, man, I wish I had the know-it-all to do that differently.
That's
And so that's relinquishing control when you have enough wisdom and maturity to admit I could have handled that
Mm-hmm.
differently.
Right.
Right.
It's not you're not we're not gonna all of us are not gonna always get it right, but what we can do is make sure that we're honest enough with ourselves and other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's where we're going wrong, and that's why we're having so much conflict, and it feels like you're tug of warring with people as adults. It's because we're trying to control that uncertainty of, oh, well, if I tell this person this, how are they going to feel about me? So you try to control the narrative. No, speak your truth, be your
Mm-hmm.
authentic self, and let the chips fall as they may.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Um.
Carrie.
Hey, Pastor
Hey,
CC.
Carrie.
Yeah. That's why I keep my circle exactly as it is, because I can name all the men in my circle, and they grown men. They will tell me if it's stupid or give me their opinion on how it is. I can call Mario right now and he'll say, yeah, that's not worth fixing. If it was me, I wouldn't do it. Okay, you know what? Good. I'm not finna argue. It's no point in arguing, because two heads are better than one. Why not call somebody and get their opinion? And the sooner that we realize it's just an opinion, the better off we'll be. And I'm gonna take it one step further. It makes you even a better person and gives you even greater character and integrity to call that person back. You know what, Mario? I could have handled that better. I should have said this, and this, or if this should have been done. Because see, now, instead of cutting you off or doing whatever he do, he sees that you're a stand-up guy, and maybe you just
Mhm.
fell off for a minute and now you back down to earth. Control is something that you always lose in. There's nothing good that ever comes out of it. There's nothing good that ever comes out of it. Because if you are in control, meaning yourself, then you know when to say when. Okay, I need to walk away. Now, I'm in
Mhm.
control of my emotions. I will sit there. And if I can't figure out how to fix the truck, I stop and I walk away. Because I'm not in control right now, because I don't know what I'm doing. So I need to stop. I sit down, I take a deep breath. I should have done that. And it works. I should have done that. And you go back out there and you finish. But see, the people that who aren't in control of their feelings, they think they are in control. That's why when it go bad, it goes horribly wrong. And instead of saying, yeah, I could have done this a different way, you deflect, you blame.
Exactly.
It's everybody else's fault
Oh,
Right.
but yours. You just make yourself look like a super dummy. This is what you look like, a big D on your chest, a
what?
super
And
dummy.
they cut off their supply or access to people who could
Yes.
really be helping them because you're so controlling that you controlled somebody being able to help you in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And that,
So
and I'm gonna say it is. It's like in my industry, that's like the biggest problems.
Carrie's asking for a recap of what we're talking about real
Oh,
quick.
we're talking about control. As I just saw it pop up, we're talking about control. So, like with me in my industry, we run into that problem all the time. It's like it's always somebody wants to have control. If it's not like technically the people that should have control, you already have it. So why do you have to go to the extra mile to do that? So it's like if you are the wedding coordinator or the event planner, you already have control.
Right.
Why do you have to take it that extra mile? Or if I'm the DJ, I'm assuming I'm in control of the music, but maybe not sometimes because I'll have brides and grooms. Oh well, we want you to play this. Wow, you want me to play Sesame Street and Baby Shark? Are you sure? Yes, I know it's gonna be a great hit. Okay, and then when you play it and you show them that Baby Shark was just not the right thing to do, then they try to kind of play it off.
Yeah.
Like, well, we told the DJ, no, you have control.
Y'all told me to play Baby Shark.
We play Baby Shark.
We shark the do it now. Everybody the do it. Look.
And I think that's the problem is that people who have power abuse it sometimes because they want more control. Yes. And then you have those that like, and me, I'm a type of person, if you don't want to hear the truth, don't ask me. Don't ask me.
Just
because I'm gonna tell you.
Don't put me in the situation to have conflict with you if you're not going.
Because what happens sometimes, I'll be in a conversation and someone or Mario, or what did you think, man? That food was nasty. But everybody look, what do you mean? I was up at 2:00 in the morning cooking that. Or maybe you should have started at 5, so it's not hard as a break.
Mario. And look, Mario, I'm telling you, and sometimes honesty can be silence too. Because you remember at your birthday party, and your brother hollered out when they asked, "Was the food good?" I think you asked the question, Mario.
Yeah.
No, and then everybody was like, "It was so quiet in the kitchen, we heard crickets." I was like, "Oh my god!"
But don't be offended when a Mario or Mario's brother say the food is nasty.
Right.
Take note. See, for me, I've learned at that point, if you tell me something's nasty, well, can you tell me what you would have done differently?
Right.
Because if your heart is in the right place to get it right, you're not offended. You become a student. You become a learner because you want the next event that you host if somebody trusts you to make the food to make it better.
And it wasn't nothing against his birthday party and him and his wife vow renewal because it was lovely. You know what I'm saying? So people be like, girl, that party because that food it ain't had nothing to do with the food. It's just the fact that you asked the question, was the food good? And everybody was like, they didn't say nothing. But his brother was like, no. I was like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? But still, it didn't have nothing to do with Mario's event. And also too, I think control comes in with conversations. You understand what I'm saying? What I mean by that is like, if one person is trying to give their opinion about something, and then Tisha, you jump in, and then I jump in, and then Eric jump in, somebody's just trying to control that conversation because it's like my point is more important than your point, so I'm going to overtalk you because what you saying to me, I feel like it's not important. What I'm saying is more important than you. So you can also try to control conversations with people too by overtalking and not even allowing that person to give their opinion, because I cannot answer your question if I don't hear it completely. So if I'm trying to talk at the same time you're trying to ask a question, I'm not going to answer that question right because now I'm trying to control the conversation by overstepping what you said or trying to deflect because I know the question that you asked me is geared towards me. And so if I don't want to hear that, then I'm just gonna overtalk Mario before I even answer his question. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
that's where the control comes in with that as well.
And I mean, and that's one of the things that I've learned, that when I'm honest with people, I can tell right off the back if I offend you. It's real easy to see it. Like I tell people all the time, when you served the United States Army and you dealt with so many different soldiers with so many different situations, you can read body language, you can read how people respond to things. And so with me, and I mean now, here I am. I find it funny these days. It's like watching cartoons in real life, but it's kind of like one of those things to where if if you are offended by what I say, don't try to play the victim.
Yes.
It's like don't. That's another controlling. That's one of those major, deep, like rooted controlling ways to deal with people. Is you will get I'll come out and say, um, I'm gonna go with what I've been talking about
Oh,
all
he can
this
use
week.
us. No, he can use
Is
us.
I feel that profanity in a public space is wrong. And then you get all mad and upset because you was the one that cussed up a storm. You was that one that was out there doing your thing, and you was upset because of what I said. Oh, you judgmental and this. Well, hold up, time out. Um, it's that's a
A hit dog a holler.
huh?
A hit dog a holler.
Yeah, and it's
Didn't know
like
what
one
to
thing
say.
is, it's kind of like one of those things to where playing the victim, you can't control the situation. If the truth is the truth is the truth, you can't control the truth. You can't manipulate the truth into something that you want to hear. So it's kind of like one of those things to where if you are offended by it, then understand where, if you really want to understand, then you find out what it's about. But don't play the victim, because all you do is make a situation worse.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to control the truth. That's one of the biggest problems, that when you run into a control situation, is that somebody wants to control the truth to be what they call the alternate right truth, or the alternate truth. It's not a judgment thing. It's what he said. Judgment is the word people use
When
when
they
they
want.
when they want to control, when they want to
Mhm.
fight or be in control.
Or you're
Um,
mean, or they start saying you're mean or you're negative. You hear that a lot.
yeah,
You can't tell me that my truth is mean or negative when it's my truth. You don't have to do anything with it. That's the part that just blows my mind. Just because I say it's my truth don't mean you got to run with it. You
right,
Yeah.
you still can go. Why does it have to be an argument?
Yeah.
Well,
That's what Behoove has always like blown my mind with it. Why does it become we gotta, and then that person always likes to start to attack your character.
right,
and the
or
problem with
or
the biggest problem with control is the truth. You know, you
right,
got protagonists, antagonists, and it's the truth. If you are a truthful person and you exude the truth, you're a black sheep, you're not a team player. Why is he here? How long is he going to be here? You know, doing this for 26 years is that control the narrative. That was the biggest thing. You gotta this is okay, you're in charge, so this is the way it's gotta be. Well, if it's not gonna complete the mission, then that's not the way it should be. And if I see it, then I should say something. Then I wouldn't be doing my part. Then I wouldn't be displaying good character or integrity if I didn't come up to you and say, "Hey, blah 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 blah." See, this is how you know if you can put that person in your circle or not. You come up there and you say blah blah blah. He say this. All right. Well, since you want to go there, you don't outrank the man who wrote said regulation. You don't outrank him. So you can't sit there and make that decision. Now you can make that decision if you want to, but you by yourself. See, when you go as a group in front of a man, the lashing is less intense than you going by yourself, because if you go into a team player's office by as an individual, you might come out of there not leading anymore. So control is a one person thing. It's not a group. Control one is always that one person. It's always that one person that's got to be in control. They at the top of the mountain. See, ain't nobody trying to take you off that mountain. See,
No.
this is what blows my mind. They're not trying to take you out that mountain because that's not where they want to be. You end up realizing that you're on top of the anthill. You ready to get bit, and you get ready to fall off your rock. And guess what? Ain't nobody gonna grab you. Gonna see you falling, and keep on doing what they was doing. Cause see, the more you control, the less you have control of. So that means that the more you try to be in control, the more bridges you're gonna burn, the more people you're gonna lose. And when you hit said rock bottom, ain't nobody gonna lend you a rope, a ladder, an arm, a foot,
a lifeline,
or nothing. And
right.
you sit there looking like Boo Boo the Fool when all you had to do was just listen. It's constructive criticism. Well, how come you always able to get the mission accomplished like this? Because I have a team. That's what our job is. This is what we have to do, and this is how we're going to accomplish it. Okay, let me see what you say first, second, and third platoon. Then we get together, and I'm going to let you know this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to execute it. It ain't, this is my party. I'm going to do what I want to do, and can't nobody tell me nothing. I don't want no suggestions, no nothing. Okay?
And have you noticed, too, people that's in control or try to be in control, they seem to always feel like they can change the laws, break the rules, change the rules, but you got to follow exactly. You understand what I'm saying? Well, because I'm in charge, or I'm the boss, or I'm the supervisor.
Rules don't apply to me.
They don't apply to me, they apply to you because I'm in control. And they'll use that word instead of, you know what I'm saying, supervise. And one thing I learned too about, bosses and leaders, they are two different people. Bosses control, leaders don't control. You understand what I'm saying? And so I learned, even like when we went to our family reunion about 2 weeks ago, and Mario, you gave us some the music on a hard drive. So we took the music with us and stuff like that. So it was playing randomly. So I have this one cousin that always trying to control everything. So she kept saying, Marcella, go over there. We don't want to hear that. Play this, play that. So I went over there. I found out how I could just rewind, right? So then it got to a point to like, well, I don't want to hear that. So she dancing. And I'm like, first of all, you don't even know how to dance. So why are you worried about the music, right? So it got to the point to where she was trying to control so much about the music. I said, you know what? You go over there in the same little button that I was pushing on that speaker. You go figure out what you want to play, because I'm not gonna stand here while you tell me keep on pushing.
Just let the thing play, or play your own music.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, play your own music.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, pull out somebody's phone and y'all figure out what you want to play. I said, but I'm not gonna stand here while you try to dictate and control. Come on, well, I don't want to hear that, because they call me Cella Weller. That's my nickname in my family. They call me Cella Weller, and she was like, Cella Weller, we don't want to hear that. I said, well, you go over there and you push that. You stay in there all day until you find out when the song's gonna come on that you want to play. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. And that's what kind of. And so I learned, and I'm better too, because I learned to I didn't get mad. I just let her
say what you had to say.
Yeah. Excuse me, guys. One second. I got to.
But see, when Eric was talking about that leadership thing, I remember a lot of leaders, if you think about it, years ago, would always say it's lonely at the top. And I remember someone saying, yeah, it's lonely at the top if you didn't bring anybody with you. So if all you did was worry about elevating yourself and you didn't worry about elevating your team, then you are lonely, like Eric was saying, because only thing you did was self-gratification. And I remember initially when I went into leadership, I had some bad training. Let me just go ahead on and admit, okay? Because see, sometimes you have to get it wrong to get it right. And I remember when I first went into leadership, I was young, I was controlling. Me and the person who trained me had a reputation of, we'll write you up on a napkin. And we were going around bragging about that. Like, that was good.
Sorry, guys. I had to take
you
that
see
call.
What I mean? And so you sometimes can be mentored or trained by somebody that has bad habits.
Right.
And you have to unlearn those habits to realize, first of all, these are other human beings that have opinions, that show up for you every day and work for you. Where's your gratitude for that? My mindset initially when I went into leadership was, well, you getting paid. Ain't no paycheck that great where somebody want to come to work and know you don't even care about that. My personality, you guys, used to be so bad. When you take the personality test, you know how it has driver, empath. I was straight driver. I was straight up and down.
You a speed racer?
Black and white. There was no gray. When
Well,
you break a rule, you get written up. You break a rule, you know.
And see, the problem with that is I had to give a class to some bosses. I ain't calling out no name. I had to give a class to some bosses, not leaders, some bosses.
Right.
You can't make up how you counsel, write up, do whatever. There's a process. So if you sitting there proud that you wrote somebody on napkin, you better make sure you was abiding by the policy. Because see, somebody like me, yeah, go ahead, write me up on a napkin. I'll even sign it. Go ahead. I'm gonna walk right on over to the HR. She being unprofessional. This is what she did according to the policy. It said I should be done this, and this.
See, but bro, that's the problem with me. I was policy driven, not human driven. See, when you're in corporate America, you have flexibility to treat people like humans. I was strictly, if it was in the policy and the procedure and you broke up, you was written up, fired, whatever the cause. I ain't want to hear nothing you had to say. You was out of there. Okay.
Yes, so good.
Right.
But
I ain't in nobody's military. We didn't have to. It's not that way in corporate America. In corporate America, there are gray areas.
But
right.
They do have their policies, but believe it or not, whether you know them or not, they have their policies. And I tell everybody, learn the policies, whether you Army, Walmart, post office, the bank, learn those policies.
That was the problem. I knew the policies too good. I didn't see the gray. That's what I'm telling you. I was running the operation like it was a military operation.
Yes,
I grew up military. You walk a straight line, you left, right, everybody on the same left, right, them feet moving at the same time, right? You in formation.
Right.
I came into corporate America with a formatted mindset.
And being in control too,
it
right?
Was control, right? Yes. And I still got people to this day, y'all, that hate me.
Wow.
And they don't.
She made me lose my job.
Yes,
lose your job.
Y'all don't. And listen, and had no emotion.
Wow.
Because I was right. They could go march my stuff to the HR and it was covered. Trust me, I'm analytical. I got the policy on the page with the number and it's highlighted where you can go, and I justified all my firings, right? But that still didn't make it right because I didn't see the human, I was so busy controlling that I didn't see the human aspect of it. I didn't listen. I controlled.
Yeah.
Well, see, I'll be honest with you. It's like, at least like that's that one type of control, because at least you wasn't in the wrong. You got some people out here, and these are the worst ones. They'll make up a lie in a heartbeat just to control the situation.
That's true.
I've seen it happen so many times. Like as a DJ, man, the music you playing, it sucks. Now, if you play this song right here, you play this Baby Shark remix, boy, you're gonna have everybody in here jumping.
The door in the background.
Like, dude, and they'll come up live. Like, I've been looking like really? And see, they're live to control the situation, because what they're looking at is they want things for them to become selfish. They want to have that control where it benefits them and not everybody. And I'm looking at this dude like, you really want me to play Baby Shark the remix? Yeah, man. What you playing right now? That cha-cha slide ain't working, man. You gotta do this Baby Shark remix. Okay, but I have a full dance floor. I mean, the truth is crystal clear.
Yes.
But still will lie just to get.
He ain't lying.
No.
Remember the birthday party we was at, y'all? People be on the floor. I ain't gonna say no names. Remember?
You talking about?
In Columbia.
Yeah.
The floor be packed. Then all of a sudden, dude that went out I mean, went left,
Mario,
and
I'm
everybody
telling
go
you.
sit down.
Hey, you were like this.
Mario,
You were like this. And then you just
Mario.
left it
That's
there.
that dude asking for that Baby Shark remix, wasn't it? I bet it was.
We think Gira Bays is, we hate Gira Bays. Oh, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, Mario. Oh, it's all good. Man, he already know. I'm just saying. I'm talking about.
I mean, it's like, I mean,
sorry.
I mean, that's why I said it's
You
like.
can't be saying that.
I am so sorry.
I'm gonna say it's just like it's kind of like one of those things where a person will manipulate the situation just to benefit themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Those that are liars are the worst type of control freaks out there.
Yes.
They'll have you believing that the world is coming to an end, just so they can get to what they want out of the situation.
Man, Mario, Tisha, let me tell y'all something. He is so
You just
right.
spoke a word.
I had a girlfriend, right? And I promise you, she had to be in control of everything. She almost made me. Now my mom, I know what my name was. I know my name at birth, my birthday, everything. She almost convinced me that I wasn't born in '67. I was like, wait a minute, I started to count like this, like what? I was like, hold up, wait a minute. And she was like, and I think that's when I had just turned. I think I was like 50 years old, right? She was like, no, you're not 50. We're the same age. And my mama told me, and I was like, I swear, I was like, oh my God. So I said, hold up, wait a minute. I said, I know that. She said, I said, girl, I said, we were born in '67. I said, you are 50 years old as well as me. You was born in July of that year. No, I'm not. My mama told me that every 4 years it's leap year, da 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 da. And I'm finding myself, and she wanted to be in control so bad. I told her, I said, babe, I almost decided that, was I really born in '67?
Well,
It's narcissism.
Like,
Yeah.
It is narcissistic behavior. At the end of the control, it becomes, when they're liars and manipulators, it becomes narcissist.
Right.
Yes,
Narcissistical behavior.
whether you're a narcissist or a Napoleon complex, my patience is not there. It's not. I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna talk to you. Once it go left, I got about a 5-minute wingspan. If I don't get nothing out of it, I ain't talking to him no more. I'm good.
Well, it's just like, you know what, and this is what's so funny. Like, okay, like the thing about the main event situation that happened, and like everybody, it's nothing. I have no problem with people making their comments and everything, right? But this one person, which I already knew her credibility was terrible. I already knew her credibility was bad. I mean, I was in court as a witness against her credibility. That's how bad she was.
God,
So you're gonna get up in on my post, and you're gonna post this crazy lie. Yeah, they had over 1 million people go through main event, and what? We don't even got 1 million people in Fayetteville. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? But what her objective was to control the way the conversation was going in the trend. And I sit back and I'm like, and I just, when I see stuff like that, I just delete, block. I ain't got time.
Right. It's no need.
There's no need for all that extra stuff.
Because you're gonna get drug into something, and you again signing up to go to the circus. I keep signing up to go to the circus. I swear I'm not a monkey, an elephant, a giraffe, a lion. Like, I'm none of them. I don't jump through fire. I don't come out of cannons.
You're not a baby shark.
For some reason, I'm not do neither. But for some reason, I'm taking accountability for myself. I keep signing up to go to the circus.
Well, you need to cancel your season tickets. That's what we need to start doing. Cancel your season ticket.
But the thing is, what happens though, when you keep going back to the circus, you start to set the boundaries a little bit different on how you deal with individuals. You have that one individual that wants to control things by telling lies. You have this other individual who wants to come in and control. I mean, it's like they have so many different ways. So what you do is you put up your perimeter. Okay, here comes the liar. And most of the time, to kill the liars, just agree with them. Just go ahead and agree. Man, you know what? I killed Terry Sharks yesterday. Okay, that's good, man. Go ahead, right on.
Oh, that shark meat was good. Oh,
yeah. And so you just have to play that role to just. I ain't gonna say like it's like you kind of shut down someone when someone's trying to control you with certain things, and you give them what they want. then they don't know what to do with it.
Nope.
See, I
And that's
can't do it. I can't do it. It ain't in me. I gotta just. I think for me, I gotta just check out. Like Eric said, I gotta cancel my membership, my season tickets, because I can't. I've tried to play the. I can't do it. If I don't say it, my face gonna say it.
Look, you had that look like, you really think
Really?
Baby Shark is gonna do the thing? Really?
And then my eyes be like this. No, I gotta. No, I'm checking out because I'm realizing that, and then I try to process the crazy. Come, just help.
No.
Then I'm trying to
Crazy. You
rationalize.
process that which cannot be processed.
I promise
why
you.
I only ask questions of those that are in my circle. I will not go outside of my circle and have nobody there because I'm afraid of what I might get. So I'm gonna ask them, Mario, should I do it? Yes, you should. This is why. Or no, you shouldn't, and this is why. I know what I'm gonna get. So I'm not gonna take that chance because I am fine till stupid walks in the room. I can't do it. No. I don't want no new friends. I don't need them. I love my circle. I love the people in it. They're gonna tell me I got the type of friends that if they see me doing something wrong, what you doing? I have no doubt Mario be like, what is you doing? Let's go. Come on, let's go. But let's go.
His wife gonna be the first one to tell him about it.
So I cannot afford feelings. I cannot afford the feelings for that which is irrelevant to me. See, so many times we try to take out a loan and care for something that you're not in control of, has nothing to do with you, or is beyond help. But we'll go in there anyway and wonder why we got third-degree burn.
But can I ask this? Okay, so when I was in my crazy land that I told y'all about with my controlling and narcissistical ways, somebody took the time to come in crazy land and get me. Not once, not twice. I can't even count how many times somebody might have came over there in crazy land to get me. So I think I keep going to the circus is because I feel compassion because I think about what if y'all, let's just use y'all. What if y'all wouldn't have loved on me in that season enough to water me, to feed me? Where does it become where you cut it off when you see a person doesn't? I want it to be fed. I want it to change. How do you know? Because if that person keeps coming to you, how do you I feel guilty if I cut a person off who keeps coming to me, knowing that I'm going to tell them the truth. So
go ahead.
Well, you can't feel guilty about that. You know why? Because like he said, you keep buying the season passes. So never feel guilty about a situation that you continue to stay in. You understand what I'm saying?
Got it.
And then that person has to understand that all the conversations that y'all had, because me and you done had multiple conversations with this certain situation. All the conversations that you have not changed how you feel about what you tell this person. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think it's compassionate in a way, and I think also too it's kind of like it's feelings too. You understand what I'm saying? Because when we care about something or someone to a point to where we feel like, well, maybe I can touch this person, or maybe I can get them to see it a different way. Sometimes we tend to stay longer. You understand what I'm saying? And so I think the reason why you're not really cutting it off is because of the fact that it's something in that person that you might can work with just a little bit. But then it's to a point now where when we talk today, it's like you know what, man, I think that you're really ready to throw your season passes in. You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes we got to take, like my husband always tell me, he said, it's that good heart. Because I know, like I was telling Mario too, it's that our good heart that sometimes keep us there longer. But we know that God already been tapped on the shoulder. We already seen the red flags, but we tend to say, okay, well, I'm gonna give it another chance. And it's gonna be the same results. So when we get that first sign that says it's like it's time to go, we have to listen to that. We got to move on because we're going to continue to stay in the same place. That person is being who they are. They're controlling ways. they don't see it the way you see it. Now they're trying to deflect. Now they're trying to sit here and question your personality and your integrity because you're not telling them what they want to hear. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is. It's like don't use it so much as a compassion. It's like it's something deeper than that. But you got to, like you said, if you really want to check out, then don't when these tickets expire, don't go back and buy the season passes, even if they have a discount on them.
Well, I'm just gonna go and lay it out there. You have to set your boundaries. What are your boundaries? Have you communicated those boundaries to this person? Mm-hmm. What are their boundaries? Have they communicated those boundaries to you as well? Mm-hmm. Now, you need to also set aside, okay, this is non-negotiable. If this happens, this is going to happen. Mm-hmm. And you do not jeopardize that. If frying chicken and fish grease, is that it? That's it. No more. Don't say, well, it wasn't cooked that hard. It wasn't that. No. See, now you compromising yourself. And you need to also understand, too, that as you are speaking from yourself, then that person should be speaking of you as well, because you changed that I to a we. Well, I do care for him. Well, does he care for you? Mm-hmm. Well, I do love him. Does he love you? Mm-hmm. If the answer is no, he don't care for me, and no, he don't love me, then you got your answer. You got to walk away, as hard as it may be, because here's the thing. People say these two words, good heart. Yeah, a good heart will cause you to do some things, but a good heart will also show you the smoke signal and say, run, forward, run. A good heart will show that good heart will let you know that this ain't going down the path that we talked about. And never say I, it should always be we, because that's another mistake we make. We start going in the I, and when you start using the I, the relationship was over a long time ago.
And I think
those I talk about us, I say we
ahead,
because we're in the same, we speak on, we know how each other think. I can't say I, or I like to, no.
But is that how we get stuck in by the controllers? Because what I've noticed with people who control is they have power, like a powerful way of making you second guess even your boundaries at times to make your boundaries seem unrealistic. I'm just speaking from experience, because are you becoming the controller too by thinking that you can stay somewhere and help somebody? See, that needs to be
and
talked
only because
about
the fact that because
yes,
and only because of the fact that because you're continuing to keep on entertaining the same person that's gonna keep giving you the same
so
thing.
You're becoming controlling too.
That's why.
Look. Yeah. See, the thing is, and most of the time, what it boils down to in most of these situations is that people are not facing up to the truth. They're trying to manipulate what the truth really boils down to, and like in some of these relationships, it's kind of like you're not being in a truthful situation. It's like you're looking at the situation where, okay, if you're in a relationship and every time y'all go out, he or she makes you go ahead of them, and then they come in separately, or he or she. I mean, you're seeing all these, like I said, all these red flags popping up left and right. Mm-hmm. But and the thing is, resources control people to an extent. Money, authority. Like, I mean, if you have something that somebody wants, then people are going to play down to your demands because you got something that they want. So it's like tit for tat type scenario. So this situation, I'm gonna be honest, I love throwing grenades in there. Okay, here you go, and then walk away and let it blow up in their face. But it's just that's what people want to do, is they'll try to hold you like kind of hold you as a hostage based off of, I mean, like it's funny to me because like it's so many times I've had people try to control me, and well, Mario, you can't come in and do this, and this. Okay, bye. Throw a grenade, you walk out, and then wait a minute, Mario, because then they really need you.
Yeah,
they try to play it off like they don't need you, but then and that's one of the things that the way you defeat control is you always put yourself in the position you don't need me before I need you.
That's right. Preach.
That's how you completely destroy how someone controls you. If you are honest and that's one of those things now I look at it. When you're in the army, you can't play that. You can't do it that way because the army, you got to play the game. When you become a civilian, you can't tell me nothing. I got money in the bank. I got money coming in left and right. Oh, Mario, no, you can't say nothing to me. I got full control of myself. Here's a grenade for you. Keep going. And you just keep building. I mean, you don't let people control you. You put yourself in a
That's
position
so
as
true.
a
Yeah.
business owner, as a business representative. When you're out here and you're working, I don't care. You can have the worstest bridezilla or the rest is groom. Is you let them know up front, you need me. I don't need you. And
That's right.
that's what kills me is you'll get a bridezilla, for example, and they want to act crazy. Okay, bye crazy. Here's a grenade. Bye, and you walk away from it. But
Yeah.
if you're in a situation where you're that DJ and you really need that money, then yes, ma'am, I'm gonna go ahead and play Baby Shark right now for you. It's like it's a whole different scenario because you need something from that person.
Mhm.
So they
Mm-hmm.
use that need to control you. People have to control their needs so the wrong people don't get in a position to where they can use it against you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Because I think it's a difference between being and I understand you have boundaries, but once you communicate them, it's not to say someone's not going to make a mistake. That's I always look at what if somebody didn't have grace and mercy on me when I was out here being a knucklehead and didn't know any better. But I'm also not a repeat offender. If you tell me something is a boundary or a touchy spot for you, I don't go scrape that sore.
Exactly.
Okay. And then I'm not a repeat offender of putting you in a situation to have to defend your truth. Your truth is your truth. I don't care, I'm not controlling how I perceived or how you perceive forward with your truth. That's your truth.
And
Right.
don't take it if you don't. My mom always told me this growing up as a young lady. And I was the only girl in the house with four boys. So she was harder on me. And I thank God for her teaching. But she always said to me, because I've always, the person that I am today, that y'all know me personally, you and Mario and my husband, that's not a representative. This is who I am. And so my mom always told me, she said, you don't ever have to take anything that you don't dish out. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not saying that I can't be compassionate, sympathy, empathy, none of that. She just told me, and so you answering your own question, Tisha, you really are, because like I said, you have compassion and you have entertain. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when we continue to answer phone calls and talk to the same people that we know that that's who they are, they're not going to change. Now we're entertaining them. You understand what I'm saying? And then, like you said, when you think about, okay, well, like I said, my aunt told me the same thing one day. She was like, somebody was praying for you when you was outside in the world or whatever the case may be, and you didn't want to go to church. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, you have to sometimes, you know, put yourself in a position of that person that is not where you at, which I get that, right? But how long does it take? And then when I continue to talk to this person or people or group or whatever the case may be, and they're in the same place and they doing the same thing and they speak it on the same, they speak in the same way, and no matter what I say, it's not good enough. Then you have your answer. You know what I'm saying? You have your answer. It's like, so the compassion really has always been there from the beginning. Now it's just sitting on the shelf because you already know that the compassion is on the shelf is there. So it's no longer that anymore. It's just the fact that, you know, you either going to decide on, again, if you're going to continue to buy season passes or you're going to continue to let this expire and say, you know what, I'm good on that one. That's what you got to decide. But you already know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
You
that's
already
the
know what it
point
is.
I
So
was getting to, that we become
yes,
controlling when we're trying to stay in situations.
That you shouldn't be in.
Exactly. To show somebody something, then you become the controller.
Right.
That's what I was
yes,
trying to get the point. That's why I posed the question the way that I did. So
yeah,
because it's a lot of people who do that, you think that, and you end up that transference of emotions happen, and then you end up becoming what you don't like, or what you say you don't like in other people, you end up becoming it because you think you're trying to protect yourself, but you're really controlling because you're afraid of this person hurting you, or you're afraid of hurting that person. So you either stop telling your truth, or you become even more brazen with your truth. And truth without compassion is brutality. So
So
you can be honest with people without breaking their soul and killing them. And I think when we stay in things, we've only been taught how to stay and then get enraged and communicate through rage and not through empathy or compassion. That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying I can't throw no more grenades? Is that what you're saying?
No, because you're saying you throw your grenade and walk off. You're not staying in the moment. You're just letting them know, hey, I'm out. Peace. That's what you're doing. But for like, I can honestly say, for my personality, I throw the grenade and then I might be there and blow up with it. You see, like,
you can't do
no, you can't do that. You can't do that. No.
So that's what I'm saying. It becomes a point where you're control. Then you are becoming controlling in the situation that somebody else was trying to control you, because you're like, oh no, you're not gonna control me. Then now you're becoming what you're matching energy.
You're self-inflicting pain on yourself.
Exactly. Oh, stuff you don't even have to be involved in.
Right.
Stuff you've evolved from. You're staying too long in a situation, and then you have to
decide.
Yeah.
And so now you just have to decide on if this is something that I want to stay in. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Because not even boundaries set would be, okay, you know what? I done set my boundaries for whatever the situation is. I'm not gonna even answer calls no more. I'm not even gonna, I don't even want to know how your day been. You see what I'm saying? Because when you ask how your day been or how the conversation gonna start off, it's gonna be something long and drawn. You already know, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, get ready for like, hey, go ahead.
What it boils down to is your truth. People, that's why they say people who like controlling situations are manipulators. People who like controlling situations are liars. And all they're doing is watering down your truth. No, a better word would be minimizing your truth to the point to where it don't matter to them and it matters even less to you. Your truth has to be real. And you cannot compromise your truth for anything. And if you stay in your truth and you live in your truth, you're going to see him coming a mile away. And that will let you know whether you throw a grenade or whether you stop buying the season tickets, or whether you need to cut it off altogether. Because my wife will tell you, if I already know where this conversation going to go, I'm not going to have it with you. Okay, well then you just go ahead. You just go ahead and you sit on over there and you sit on that dozen grenades and just let it blow your bottom off, because I already know where it's going.
Patricia, I'm being you. I can feel you too, because he's like, babe, that's on you, because you already knew.
That's right.
Where that conversation was going. And I can throw the compassion in too, but I got to the point now where it's like, now you just said my piece. I just got to cut it off, because I can't, you know what I'm saying? Because I haven't had a headache in a long time. And it's like when I used to have headache, guys, I used to be stressed, worry about that person's situation more than them, continue to argue with someone that I know that I'm not going to win that battle. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to get my point across too. And I had to learn how to just,
because then you started controlling.
Can't do that no more. Yes, I am done with all that, guys. I'm telling you.
Sparing feelings for something that you can't afford to lose in the first place.
So I get what you're saying, Tisha, but it's just the fact that I didn't finish my season passes. I told them jokers up and threw them in the fire. That grenade. Now when I threw that grenade, I ran the other way. Tisha, I ain't standing with the grenade. I threw the tickets in there, and I threw the grenade, and I ran on out the door. I
didn't mean to put this grenade in there.
Yeah, but I wanted to throw that out there, because a lot of times we don't see the flip side of when we're dealing with narcissistical controlling people, that behavior can easily transition that emotional transference to you as well. And that's where you have to know how to exercise emotional intelligence to even throw the grenade. And you have to have control over your emotions, so that, again, going back to self, so that you don't deep dive into these situations, because it's not just relationships with the opposite sex, it's friendships, it's all the ships that fall
it's
into
your
this
children.
category.
It's
Right.
Yeah, because my daughter called today with a situation, and you know what I said, and I listened to her, stuff like that. Me and my husband, we commented on certain things, but you know what I said handle that.
Yep.
Yes, handle that.
Yes.
And I just handle that.
But one of the things I want to stress out real quick is that sometimes in certain circumstances, being controlling is a positive thing.
Right.
I do want to stress that. I know we hit the hard core, like, bad things about being controlling, but sometimes it's like being controlling, like
true.
for example, in a school environment, you got to have control. In a combat situation, because the thing is, you have to manipulate people to do what you want them to do, so everybody in other words, is an overall agenda for something good. And I think that's one of the things that we're talking more. We've been talking a lot about the negative things about controlling situations, but at the same time, because in my back of my mind, I'm sitting thinking that when was the last time I was in controlling a control freak, and that was when I was in the combat zone, and I was responsible for 7 lives. So because of that situation, I was an extreme control freak, because my goal was we all came over here in Afghanistan alive, and we're all going home alive. So if I got to be the villain, if I got to be that bad guy, then I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make sure your butt gets back to the United States alive. I might break you down, I might make you cry, I might, whatever it takes, you're going back home. Same thing with schools. Like, you got to go hard at some of these kids because they're not getting that love at home. They don't have any control at home. There is no one there to control them.
I was just going to say that. So it starts at home too.
That's why I say that it's like what we're talking about is more so when you're a grown adult. And versus like now in the school environment, because like now it's so bad. The kids are constantly talking back to the students. I mean, the kids are talking back to the teachers. I mean,
biting them, hitting them, all kinds of
stuff.
We
had a shooting at one of the high schools here today in Augusta.
Really?
Already?
A shooting. Yep. And I heard someone say last week that tough love is necessary. Tough love when your kid is controlling the narrative for what you got to do for kids, right? So I agree with you, Mario. Control is necessary, and when you're in leadership position, there does have to be a certain level of control so that there is order.
Right.
Depending on the mission, depending on what your job is. Like as a drill sergeant, they even got it. The first 3 weeks is called total control. You got a whole bunch of people from different walks of life, and you trying to make them into a seasoned soldier. You can't sit here, and you got to let them know it's no longer about you and the remote control or the gaming controller or laying around all day. No, this is time now for you to pull your pants up, be a man, and this is why. And then I'm gonna show you the way. Yes, it's just like I don't condone violence, but violence is a necessary evil. You can say the same thing about control, depending on what your job is, especially in a combat zone. You have to have control.
You have to.
Because why? The same people you fighting are the same people that's serving your food. Or the same people that's doing work or that's fixing the barracks or fixing the trails around there. You have to have control. It's no longer, hey, how you doing? No, this is this and this is where it is. And if you are a leader, not a boss, if you are a leader, you stepping your game up is just another day at the office. And they're going to respect you for it because they know where it's coming from.
A good place.
They're coming from a good place, and they know you will take a ass chewing for them. Now, I've done it before. I've done it several times. Okay, well, go ahead, say what you got to say. Because I got somewhere. Is that it? I got somewhere to be. I got some things to do.
Hold on, Eric. A light bulb just went off. So when we have those principles at work, why don't we apply those same basic principles into our personal life? Because when someone comes at you and with your truth and they're offended by it, then immediately the principle becomes this person doesn't trust me.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't got nothing to do with the fact that you're not being honest. What it has to do with, that person is trying to control the narrative because, again, they don't trust you
Yes.
with the outcome. See, most people misunderstand truthful people.
Right.
Most people think that truthful people are coming for them all the time. No.
Yep.
A truthful person normally is minding their own business in their own lane, doing their own thing, and they too busy to come for you, right?
Yes.
So
And you know what? And that's what I mean.
That's why I'm telling you, it's the principles, the basic principles of a good leader have to also be the basic principles of a good relationship or a good friendship as well.
Yes.
Because
I am the exact
reason,
same. I am the
exactly,
exact
because
same.
that's the root of where the conflict is coming from. That other person who is coming to you really doesn't trust you. And so now what y'all are saying about cutting the tie and walking off, that's the reason, because you got to make it make sense for people why you're walking off. I'm done because you don't trust me. You pretend to trust me, but you really don't trust me.
Right.
So
I
that's
mean, he
why
talked
you
about
got to
that
wash your
too.
hands. Right.
And that's why, I mean, you talked about too. That's why we said, man, you talked about like why certain times, sometimes people don't invite you. They won't ask you to come. They won't, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead. And so, that's true, because like you said, we're so truthful to the point to where sometimes it also can be intimidating too. I'm not coming for you. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat what you're saying. You know, not gonna sugarcoat what you asked me.
Right.
Yeah.
But one thing, and then you have situations where you have to enforce rules, and see that's another thing that people want to they want to misinterpret that on purpose, is when you have rules that are in place. I'm gonna say perfect example at the skating rink. Don't sit your butt on the walls, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's a reason for that rule is to make sure you don't fall and bump your head, because if you fall off that wall, you're gonna hurt
your
yourself.
head.
And so
Yeah.
when you try to enforce rules, people first thing what people want to say is to control the narrative. Oh, he's just ruthless like that. He just but like, because we get all the time, we'll have parents come in and come into like, and I mean, it's not just, I'm not gonna say just scary, but in any situation, you go to main event, you go to anywhere, any place where it's a public place, the mall, and it's like the parents don't like the fact of being told the truth. Ma'am, sir, your child is being bad. You need to deal with your child. And it's like, oh, all of a sudden, don't talk to my child. Well, you know what? It's like, if you ain't going to correct your child, then who's going to do it? Someone else going to get hurt?
Ain't you a teacher?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like one of the things is like, well, you got, here it is. You got these kids fighting teachers because they take their cell phones. Okay, why is a cell phone in the classroom from the beginning? Then the thing is, the parents don't want to deal. They don't want to deal with the truth. Well, because you weren't being a parent, now this is what's causing problems.
No. One of my friends that's a teacher just posted this and said the kids have been given a narrative they have given a narrative. The parents, she was saying, we need you guys as parents to step up, because there's laws and restrictions in place for schools where they can't do certain things anymore.
Right.
The problem is, we as parents, like you said a few minutes ago, Mario, you gotta control at home with your children when they're children. And that's where things are going wrong too. We're not parenting. Therefore, that's why we done spent most of the whole hour talking about the negative that we get from the adults, because these adults were not parented. And Miss Carrie put it earlier, they don't want to be held accountable. That's because people who don't want to be held accountable hate truth.
Right. All the time.
And the worst person you can lie to is yourself.
Ooh, that's deep. Yes, baby.
It's so many people around here lying to themselves. I'm a good person. I'm this. No, I'm looking at you. You're not a good person.
You said something right there, boy. I tell you, I had a. As soon as you said that, I was like, ooh, like my thing is, you can be, and this is the thing when you play the victim, right? This is across the board. I don't know why we were just talking about it before the show. When you play, you go out here and you are doing all the worst things in the world, and then you get caught in the act of doing those worst things in the world, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to play the victim,
Not
and
my
then
fault.
you're going to go on social media and God is looking out for me. He's going to make things better. Don't bring God into your mess. It's like when you was doing all the crazy stuff you were doing, was you thinking about God?
Nope.
And so that's why I said when you said what you just said a few minutes ago, it just
It's just a
amazes
question.
me how a person will play the victim in a heartbeat, and God's going, you okay, you was out here doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You out here, I mean, you out here beating up on the sharks and choking the chickens, and then you get caught doing it, and then you get blown up out of proportion on CNN. Then all of a sudden, well, I was brought up, I was raised with wolves, and I didn't know any better. So God's looking out for me, and I've been praying. Wait a minute, hold on, time out. But that's not what you was doing a few minutes ago.
Nope.
You playing the victim now, and those are the people that annoy the hell out of me the most are the ones that play the victim. Everyone, it seems like it's got to be a blue book out there on social media somewhere. Is if you play the victim, you'll get out of things. Your race card, okay? Oh, I'm white, you're black, so you're guilty because you're black. Or I'm gonna play the race card because I don't like. And I saw this. I saw a video today. Lady going through, and you're going to buy your alcohol. I don't know much about this because I don't drink, but you're going to buy your alcohol. They ask for ID to check your, that's a state law, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I
because
seen that. Go ahead, but I know what
yeah,
you're talking
but
about.
just because that lady asked her for her
ID.
ID, she gonna say, "Oh, you're prejudiced. You just I don't like the way." I'm like, what? Why y'all playing the race card when
Just
you
show
don't
the
have?
ID.
Just give her the
And
ID.
is it the same with
Yeah.
Mario when she talking about I got a black card and da 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 da? She just
Yeah.
now she does stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
She got a black
She
card and
probably
now
didn't
they
even
talking about
have her license.
It's just that
you know what I'm saying?
she didn't want to do it. That I was like, and that's why I say it is that people will play the victim to control the
That
outcome
was
of this
more like a
situation, and that is
and that was
what
more like a privilege too. That was
yeah,
more like
it
a
is.
privilege thing too. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a hidden privilege. That's
I
why
have a
in so many
question.
ways that's why I said this is kind of like the hidden cut control situation where people are trying to control the outcome on things because they're going to play the role that, oh, you're the adult, I'm the child, you're not supposed to do certain things, but you put your hands on me. And see, that's
right.
another situation now is you got these circumstances where once upon a time men wouldn't hit women, but if a woman comes up and clocks you in the eye what are you going to do?
Hit her back.
Knock her
She need to
back.
get hit back.
So that's what I'm saying is that it's like you can't play the victim. You can't use your gender. You can't use your race. You can't.
No.
You got to
Because you knew you was a female when you hit that man in his eye.
exactly, and that's what
There
I
you
said.
go.
Is
I
just
take
that
yeah.
is just nowadays people are using certain genders. I mean,
Anything
certain
they
things. I'm gonna
can.
group it all into one, playing the
Yeah.
victim in the situation. Anytime someone gets caught outside the truth, the first thing they want to do is play the victim.
Yeah. I have a question for everyone, and I guess this can be our ending question.
Yeah.
What is name one thing that you know that a controlling person what's the one before? Name one thing that a controlling person, shows to you. Like for instance, with me, I'll say I go first. Attitude. Controlling people have attitudes. So what is something y'all think that what y'all can automatically see that a controlling person displays? That's the question. What is something that a
They
controlling
get
person
defensive,
displays?
very defensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Mario.
They lie too much.
Okay, Eric.
They come with their nose in the clouds like they're above you when y'all are of the same level. Just because, like, say for instance,
Like they used to playing for the first
well,
class.
yeah,
Last night.
yeah, like the
Get on the
people
plane.
get on the plane. She right, prime example. You sit there, you thinking everybody's beneath you because you got first class.
they stick their chest out. We was getting
two things. We get there at the same time. And the only difference between you and me is a blue curtain. You paying $1,500 for a blue curtain. When all I gotta do is slide the curtain to the side and wave at you. I can even high five you. So it's that they get that nose in the air. Like, we all in this group. Mario gonna be the lead for the project. So he coming in there with his nose in the air and we can't tell him nothing. But we all supposed to put into the project at the same time. And we'll be confused if we say, you know what? You got this. You don't need well, why don't they help me?
Or if he get a bad grade, we say, well, who's in charge of the project? We like Mario. Well, they didn't help me. That's why no, Mario. You said you want to be in control of the project, so they ain't got nothing to do with us until you get a bad grade. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for me it's attitude. So that was for me. But yeah, we had some good ones. Everybody, we had some good ones.
I think this was a real good show because, like I said,
it really was.
Yes.
This is one of the things that we deal with. Like a lot of people, not just us, but a lot of people deal with these type of controlling situations. And then
you don't know what to do because, like Marcella said, you care, you love the people. In some cases, people have been around you for years and they go through something in life and they'll change and not trust you, but it has nothing to do with anything you've done.
Right.
And I think there's power in being able to let go. But I think that you have to be able to communicate effectively sometimes while you're letting go. Because I think a lot of times we let those controlling people off the hook because they throw adult temper tantrums. And we need to, be able to maintain our cool and letting them know, listen, you go do that somewhere else with somebody else, but I'm letting you know now I'm checking out, I'm signing off. And it's because you are not healthy for me to be around. You're interrupting my peace.
And Tisha, and I think that if you don't, and when we stop being available so often to the same people, they're either gonna get it or it's just time to move completely on. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have to just cut them off for a while. Just like I can't be available to you no more like I used to be. I used to be available to everybody. I don't do that anymore. It's like my phone will ring and I'm like, okay, I'll call them back or whatever. And it's certain people that I do that too. But I'm learning now that I have to be in control of my life.
The boundaries.
Control is sometimes a good thing too.
Yep.
I'm now in control of my life and I dictate how it's gonna go. Nobody else can dictate that. Well, I called you, okay, I'm gonna call you back. You know what I'm saying? So control can be good too.
And I think that's one of the biggest things is like that's one of the biggest things to and I think that's the biggest thing I've learned in my entire life is always put yourself in a position where they need you before you need them. That will cease all ways so people can take control or try to manipulate and control you. Is put yourself in a position where you need me, I don't need you. So, like, you can act crazy, you can jump off, you can go crazy because I'm not going to play Baby Shark, but I don't need you. I said, I'm going to be all right. I said, I'm going to play the cha-cha slide, so we're good. I don't need the Baby Shark. So, I mean, that's what people have to do is you have to put yourself in a position to where no one can control you. No matter what the circumstances are. Now, I get it. Now, you got that one person, like what Tisha was saying, in your job situation, it's a little bit different, especially in corporate America. It is completely different. And just like in the military.
Back then it was. They don't. Corporate America, they something else.
You put yourself in a position where you put yourself in a position where if you allow someone to gain control over you, like let's say for example you did something you weren't supposed to do, then you just gave them the control. And that's why I said sometimes you got to do the right thing all the time because once you do the wrong thing, you just give somebody control over your situation.
Yep. And if you allow them to have control over your life from the beginning. From the beginning, and they're gonna control you for the rest of your life if you
control over your emotions.
You have to make yourself beyond reproach.
Yes.
So because see, what do you do if your child have a temper tantrum? Okay, you done? Get up. So you do the same thing with that adult, bro. Come on, you can try that with somebody else, or you tell them straight up, them tears mean nothing to me because it's what you do. Every time I try to call you out, this is what you do. So here's an idea: when you ready to grow up, call me. and you turn around and you walk away. See, so many times we don't do that and walk away. We stand there and we wait on them. We wait for them to calm down and this, that, and the third. No, the conversation is already lost. Say that when you ready to talk, call me. Turn around, doing about face. See, you get a better song. Okay, let's talk. Come on.
Eric, you don't understand, man. I grew up in a bad home. We had to play with the roaches, and we just didn't know how to deal with things, man. You just don't understand.
This is me.
That's
This
when
is me.
that's when you pull out that small violin and you
Yeah.
start to play it for them.
It's
And then,
me.
okay,
Well,
okay.
you know what? I grew up poor too, so you ain't saying nothing.
Right.
Next, try again. Play it right along with them.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
this was really
that victim
good, y'all.
card.
This is a good one.
We got to come up
Yep.
with something. We got to come up with something outstanding next week, y'all.
We had next week's. I have it written down. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
I wrote it down.
I think we need to deal with this situation with the baby shark. We need to get baby shark out of our systems.
Well, it ain't Baby Shark's fault, so it's not Baby Shark's fault. It's not
They
Baby
gonna do they
We-
do the do. Yeah, they can do they do. We just need to not entertain it.
Cold. We keep blaming COVID. It ain't COVID up, Baby Shark's
Exactly.
fault.
It's time to let COVID go. COVID, look.
Oh no,
I'm tired of that.
COVID's coming back with a
COVID
vengeance.
is like the flu. It's gonna just be different variants each time.
No, COVID's coming back at a vengeance. It's making your toes look pink now. You better be careful.
And curling up like this.
Well, well, if you ain't wearing the right shoes anyway, your toes gonna be pink.
That part.
All right,
But
guys.
I can't afford my shoes because Baby Shark took them.
Do.
And I have roaches.
All right. Well, look, this was a good show.
Yes.
If anyone out there, if you feel offended, we're sorry, but you'll be okay. We'll see y'all next time.
Stop lying and controlling.
Yeah, there you go. Don't look. And now my thing is, don't play the victim card. You know, y'all own up to it. Stick your chest out. I did it. Be proud of it. But anyway, all right. We'll see y'all later. We'll see y'all next time.
Have a good evening.